Everything on? All right. Hello. Welcome back to the video version of the SVHS podcast. Today we've got Jackson and Ethan on.
How's it going?
Hi.
There we go. All right. So we just got back from the student section of Film Fest. So we're just going to do like a little debrief and talk about kind of like the process and
All the movies and
all the movies. Yeah. But first, I'd like to thank the Sonoma International Film Fest and all its sponsors, because without you guys, we wouldn't get to see our movies and we wouldn't get to make our movies.
Or have this.
Well, this is funded by grants.
Well,
but
still grateful, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
Thank
obviously.
you to the sponsors.
Yeah, and Peter Hansen, great teacher.
Of course.
Right. So, you guys all had movies in the Film Fest, right?
We did.
Correct.
Wanna give me the title and like a short little like slug line?
Sure. So my movie was called The Story of Eagles, and it was a short documentary featuring some local Boy Scouts and telling the story of what it takes to be an Eagle Scout.
Great. Jackson?
And my movie was called The Operation, and it was a little movie about a group of guys with good intentions, but, you know, they rob a house, and that's not the best way to get stuff done.
But the homeowner didn't like puppies.
The homeowner did not like puppies, so, I mean, in some ways, he had it coming for him.
True. Welcome, Reed.
Look who it is.
Is Reed Hewitt?
Martin
another
Scorsese has just entered the room.
Advanced video student.
Yeah.
Correct.
Hey, Reed, since we're talking about our movies, want to give me like the title of your movie and a slug, like little short synopsis?
Yeah.
So my movie was called Answer, and it covers the journey of two friends and the eventual death of one of the friends,
Spoiler.
and his coping with the death. of his
Yeah.
friend. So yeah, pretty much.
Real. Tugs at your heartstrings right there.
All right, so for the process of these films, like, well, actually, should I give mine too?
Yeah, go for
All right,
it.
mine was called With Time, and it was about this dude who, his girlfriend and him break up because she leaves for college, and then it's just kind of like his journey through the next year before he goes to college too. So it's a nice little bookend. Yeah. All right, so the process, anybody have anything specific to say, or do you want me to start it off?
Go ahead.
All right, so, I mean, the process is pretty much just writing, pre-producing, which is just getting everything ready, finding locations and all that, producing, which is filming, and then post-production, which is like editing, sound editing, music, all that. So I don't know about you guys, but I spend a lot of time in pre-production. Like I spend like this script that I had for the movie this year, like it was like a long journey with that. I was editing that puppy for like, please ruin my podcast more. I think
don't even trip.
Yeah, I think I started the script for my movie like almost a year ago now, like after Film Fest last year. And then you guys know I didn't really want this to be my Film Fest movie. It was more of like an experimental thing I was trying to do, but then I just kind of fell into it, and it changed a lot. Like I had like 6 different drafts. The main idea stayed the same, but the execution was a lot different.
Yeah.
Especially in the end, like it didn't turn out how I expected it to, but I was happy with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think pre-production is probably the most important part, and at the same time, at least for me, it's the hardest part, because that's where I get stuck, and I'm like stressing about like, oh, what am I gonna do? And it's just the process of just coming up with your idea and then writing it and making it like a story that can be told, and then I don't know, just pre-production is my like hump to get over when it comes to movie making.
Yeah, I would say the same. Like in my case, I like thought of my entire movie in my head, but then I never really put it down on paper or online, or like I never even made a script, which was kind of sketch, because then when I would film, it was kind of difficult to like tell my actors what to do.
Yeah.
Especially since I didn't have any dialogue like scripted, so it was kind of
Dialogue is hard though.
Dialogue is
Dialogue
really
is
hard.
almost impossible.
Especially to write.
Yeah.
Like Yeah.
for it to be natural, like you have to be really good.
Yeah,
at
that's
it.
just like a talent.
Yeah,
almost. And I think it comes with experience too.
Yeah.
The more you
Yeah.
write scripts, the more
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, I can write a
yeah.
nice
Yeah.
little dialogue.
There's entire books written on how to write dialogue
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I kind of just underestimated like how important pre-production actually is. I was like, oh, I have this movie idea. I'll just get a camera and just film it, and that caused the production time to be a lot longer than it needed to be.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ethan's had an interesting story. I feel like.
Yeah, so for mine, I really didn't know what my movie was going to be about until about 2 or 3 weeks before Film Fest.
Yeah.
Like the final was due.
Yeah.
And so basically I sat down over a weekend and just cranked out a bunch of questions that I wanted to ask for this documentary that my mom recommended I do, because
Shout out Amy.
shout out Amy. And so we wrote some questions, and then I texted all of my scout friends and said, can you come in and film this with me? And a couple of them said no, but you know,
Oh my God, who would ever say no to
that's
that?
part of the pre-production. I don't know. There's like Andrew Powers said no.
Wow. He would. He would.
I don't like seeing myself on camera. I say on my podcast.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, but doing a documentary this year instead of a movie, it was kind of weird because there wasn't really like a script that I could follow. So I
Yeah.
couldn't like tell them what to say. I just had a question and they had to come up with it.
Yeah.
So for mine, I think post-production was more important because I got to take what they said and make it into what I wanted them to say.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Post production, I'd say for me is like, this is obviously my own opinion based on like my movies, but it's my favorite part, and it's also what I think
Mhm.
the most important part is. I think
Mhm.
Ethan's
I'd
seen
agree.
it. Yeah, Ethan's seen it the most. Like when we're filming my movies or like the stuff that I do, it's usually not that good. And then not to like sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but like after post production, I feel like my product is a lot better than,
Oh yeah. I
yeah.
agree. Every time I'm in production, it's like, I mean, first of all, it's always like, oh, I have to film today. Like, oh no.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Filming,
after
I
the
hate
film
filming.
day, it's like, oh, this is falling apart. And then
Yeah.
you throw it in, and it's like, and then after you start putting it together, and you get, you know, it looks better. You color correct,
Yeah.
music,
Mhm.
cut it up, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah,
I think
look, actually
it's-
looks like something.
there's something
Yeah.
here at least. Yeah.
It's always, I feel like, the little things that I'm like, if a scene, like you change the color a little bit, it'll affect the mood, and then it
Yeah.
affects the overall. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes I get excited just to edit certain parts. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh man,
yeah.
like I'm really excited to edit this.
The one
Yeah.
scene in my movie that was like, I felt was like
The
the
shots.
strongest thing I'd ever edited. I was so excited to edit that.
Yeah.
Like I remember we filmed that, and then I couldn't edit it that night, but I was like, the next morning woke
Yeah.
up like 8 a.m. I started editing.
Yeah.
I edited all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really good, but it was very loud.
I know. I didn't realize. That's another thing you don't realize when you're editing sometimes.
Yeah, you
is,
gotta
like,
watch levels.
Yeah, well, no, because I was watching the levels, but like I had my headphones on, and it was fine in my headphones, but then I couldn't see it in the context of like a movie theater
Yeah.
because I'm
Yeah.
just not thinking about that. So, I mean, we've been going like we can just wrap it up here, but like
Okay. Yeah, we could.
final like for most of us except all of us except Reed. Sorry, buddy. It's like our final film fest, and
Yeah.
some of you.
It's my final.
Oh, well, yeah, but
hey,
like
maybe you're gonna be like, hey Reed, we need you to star
Yeah,
in my movie
yeah.
next
Yeah,
year.
I mean, I'll obviously
Hey,
want to act.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's my last.
And you'll
last
probably
year
go
of
next year.
advanced video.
Yeah, you'll probably end up going there at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Get a
But
guest
like
pass.
for some of you
Yeah.
guys, like Ethan and Jackson, like this was your 4th year.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
looking back, do you guys have anything to say?
Honestly,
Went by quick. I mean,
Yeah.
I wasn't even in this class freshman year.
Oh,
Yeah, you
But I mean,
started
but
sophomore
I
in
was still
college.
like associated with it because
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
in
yeah.
Georgia, and George and I have been making movies since before that, so it's like I've been around it. Like,
mhm.
but yeah, it's gone by quick. Like I feel like we just made The Visitor 2.0.
damn.
But yeah, it's been fun, but definitely just went by like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely been really fast.
Yeah.
Feels like
Like-
last year's film fest was like last week.
That does.
Yeah.
It was good though.
Yeah.
I would recommend this class.
Oh,
to,
for sure.
This is my
anyone.
favorite
Yeah.
class.
Especially if it's yeah.
Well, it's
Especially
not
if
everyone's
it's-
cup of tea. But
Yeah, no, that makes sense, obviously, but I mean, for people who are into this sort of thing,
Oh yeah,
perfect.
no, like I'm totally into it. It's
perfect
just
program.
got other classes
Yeah.
I gotta take.
Oh yeah.
other things I gotta
Yeah.
get done before college.
Yeah,
so.
that's fair.
But it's
Yeah.
definitely a good way to like express yourself, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because personally, I can't draw very well, but
Oh,
I can
same.
hold a camera and
Yeah.
record some stuff. So
Yeah, it's always
Yeah.
like projects. It's like, ooh, we gotta draw on a poster. It's like I'd
Mhm.
rather just sign
I'd
a
rather just-
poster.
Yeah.
Or, you know.
yeah, let me use Photoshop.
Yeah.
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 For me, the process is like cathartic because like you guys have seen my movies. It's always stuff that I'm like dealing with at the time, and
Mhm.
going through the process of like writing it and putting all my like kind of issues on paper and then
Mhm.
seeing it all in front of myself, it kind of helps me like deal with it. So it's definitely been really helpful for me because I can't draw that well. I can't sing that well. Can't sing at all. But this has been a good export.
Oh yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah. So I think that'll wrap it up for this time. So again, thank you to the Sonoma International Film Fest
Yes,
and
Of course.
Thank
the
you.
sponsors.
Thank you, Mr.
Uh,
Hansen.
Yeah,
Where's
thank
the
you, Mr.
camera?
Hansen.
Mr.
I'm on the
Hansen.
wide shot right now. Yeah. So thank you to
Hey.
everybody that supports us and
Of course.
the video class and this podcast.
All the opportunities we get,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
we're very fortunate.
Yeah,
Very
we live.
fortunate.
Yeah, this is a great program.
Yeah.
So that's it. See you guys next week.
Bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
watching.
Bye bye.
I purposely waved at the wrong camera.
Because I'm funny.